إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, here we are, 1/3 of the month passing us by. Day by day, moment by moment, the precious days of Ramadan pass us by. Oftentimes, many people begin the month with excitement, enthusiasm, energy, ready to pray the whole night if they need to, attending every salah in the masjid, reading so much Quran and adhkar and doing all the good deeds they can do. But as the days pass by and we come into the middle portion of Ramadan, we often see the energy fading, the motivation lacking. People's enthusiasm isn't quite there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created this world a place of trial, a place of struggle, a place of tribulation, patience, perseverance, a place of test. This is the reality of this world. You're being tested. Day by day, you're being tested. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. Do the people think that they will simply say, I believe, and they will not be put to the test? We have to understand the reality of this world correctly. At the end of Surah Al-Ankabut, where this verse was mentioned in the beginning, at the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions a very important verse. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. And those who strive and struggle in our way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will surely guide them to our path. ما في هداية بدون مجاهدة. ما في هداية بدون صدق. You want guidance? You will not have guidance without striving and struggling. You want guidance? You need to be truthful that you really want it. This is the time of the month. In the month of Ramadan, it's a month to strive. This is the topic of today. Mujahadatun nafs fi Ramadan. To strive and struggle against your own self during this month. Nothing exemplifies jihad and nafs like fasting in the month of Ramadan. All day, although you might feel hungry, you deny yourself. You see water and people drinking. And you may feel thirsty, but you deny yourself. All the things that break your fast, you subdue that nafs. You discipline your nafs. So it can't just simply have what it wants. Things that would ordinarily be halal, even food and drink, while fasting, you deny your nafs, you deny yourself. This is the heart of jihad al-nafs. It's not to simply indulge your nafs. People of this world are of two categories. Ones who live and indulge themselves in their desires, preferring the worldly life, preferring their shahawat. They just want to be comfortable. They just want to enjoy themselves day in and day out. This is their life. This is how they view life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He talks about this category of people. He says, فَأَمَّا مَنْ طَغَى وَآثَرَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا فَإِنَّ الْجَحِيمَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى. For those who transgress the limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and those who prefer the worldly life, for them the hellfire is the destination. This is the one type. The other type of people are those who subdue their nafs. They understand that this nafs, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has fashioned it in a certain way. As He said, إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ. Indeed, this nafs that is within you is inclined towards evil. It is drawn towards evil. It is tempted by pleasure and desire and laziness. This is the nafs that is within you. This is one of your great enemies, that it incites you to your ruin and your destruction. Many of us are living not even aware of this formula. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us very important verses. وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ وَنَهَى النَّفْسَ عَنِ الْهَوَى فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى. As for those who fear and are in awe of their Lord Allah Azza wa Jal, and they subdue their nafs, they control their nafs, they deny the nafs what it desires, for them the Jannah is the ultimate destination. You look at the month of Ramadan, and I hate to use silly metaphors. This is one of the pinnacle times of the years. It is the time for you to exert yourself. It's not time of the year to go hang out in the coffee shops. It's not the time of the year to spend all night watching movies and YouTube and TV shows. It's not the time of the year to sit and relax and be comfortable all day long and sleep as much as you want. This is the time of the year to strive. This is the time of the year to make yourself uncomfortable. When else will you do it? This is the time of the year to struggle. If you're not feeling tired, when will you feel tired? Imagine an athlete who went to the World Cup, or went to the Olympics, or went to the World Championships, and throughout the games never really tried, never put effort, never actually exerted themselves. What would the team think? What would the fans think? What would the coach think? That is their moment to perform. We find ourselves in the month of Ramadan, we don't want to tire ourselves. We look at the beautiful ibadah of Qiyamul Layl, At-Taraweeh, At-Tahajjud, the night prayer. Many people don't want to be bothered by it. And many people don't want to be tired. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the greatest of creation, Aisha radiallahu anha described, كان يقوم الليل حتى تتورم قدماه. He would pray the qiyam until his feet are swollen. And she would say to him, why are you doing this when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forgiven you all the past and all to come? And he gave the most beautiful response, أَفَلَا أَكُونُ عَبْدًا شَكُورًا. Shall I not be a grateful servant? How grateful are we? Are we simply feeding our desires and our nafs? Or are we striving to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Which category, which group do you fall into? How are you spending your time? Looking for excuses, looking for somebody to blame, looking to fool yourself so you don't maximize the benefit in this month? Or are you truly striving for every moment, for every fruit, for every hasanah that you can get through this month of Ramadan? It's a month to strive. أقول ما تسمعون واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He warns us. He knows what's inside of each and every one of us. Be aware. Be aware you're not fooling anybody, but you fool yourself. The most beloved thing to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-faridah. This is what's the most beloved thing, to come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So strive and establish al-faridah. But the fara'id, the obligations, they should be a given. They should be a given. They should be automatic. Your slogan should be سمعنا وأطعنا. There should be no issue for you. Perform your siyam, the fasting, the best that you can. Perform your salah and perfect it the best that you can. Your hijab, your birr al-walidain, all the obligations shouldn't be a non-issue. But when it comes to an-nawafil, the voluntary actions, now strive, now struggle, now push yourself, now exert yourself. The obligations shouldn't just satisfy you. You shouldn't be someone looking for the bare minimum. But someone who truly loves Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not satisfied with only al-fara'id. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the hadith al-Qudsi, as mentioned by the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَلَا يَزَالُ عَبْدِي يَتَقَرَّبُ إِلَيَّ بِالنَّوَافِلِ حَتَّى أُحِبُّهُ. And my servant continues to draw nearer to me by the voluntary actions until he becomes beloved to me, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves you. This is the month to go above and beyond. This is the month, if you're not feeling tired, you're not doing it right, you should be struggling. That's what the meaning of struggle is. You should feel it. It shouldn't be easy and comfortable. It shouldn't be that type of mindset. How can I find the easiest thing? How can I find... You're dealing with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Push yourself this month. Keep the energy, the iman, the motivation going through the next 10 days, leading into the last 10 days. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to what is best. Allahumma اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وعافنا واعف عنا. اللهم اشفي كل مريض. اللهم اشفي كل مريض. اللهم اعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين. اللهم ادخلنا الجنة يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم تقبل منا الصيام والقيام. اللهم تقبل منا الصيام والقيام. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آل محمد وأقم الصلاة.